Good morning. Claire here in the Pacific Northwest, Puget Sound area, Grow Zone 8B. I wanted to update you on what's been going on in my garden this week. It's the end of August. Today is August the 27th. So um, we're here at the end of the season. And I wanted to share with you the seeds that I planted last week, what's come up, what's kind of sprouted, and some things that I had previously planted, how they're doing. I also wanted to invite you to see a few adventures that me and my kids had gone on this week with some foraging in our local neighborhood, as well as we joined something called gleaning, which is where you go and you help people harvest fruit trees from their yard that maybe they're not able to harvest, or they have no interest in harvesting. They don't want it to go to waste. So you help them collect it, and it goes to local food banks. But in the process, you get a little cut for yourself, especially what's called windfall. It's the stuff that falls out of the trees that they can't give to the food bank, but it's still good and great for making jams. So we were gifted about 20 pounds of Italian plums yesterday. So I hope to turn that into jam. And speaking of jam, I made a jalapeno blackberry jelly yesterday with some blackberries we got in our own neighborhood. It was because a friend of mine who knows that I'm into learning about this stuff sent me this recipe, and I really wanted to make it for her. And it turned out really great. I can't wait to show you, but come on and follow me. We'll go check out the garden. I figured we'd start in the front and just do a quick run through. I've got some lettuce seeds coming up, and in the back are those zucchini and sunflowers that I planted a few weeks ago. I have a pea seed that I accidentally dropped up here, so I need to get something for it to vine up. I need to weed the dandelions, and a lot of little things are coming up. It's really exciting to me. I know it's not super exciting because it's not lush and full, and I'm just doing a quick run through for you guys because just to show you kind of in real time how it goes. These are the zinnias that I planted a few weeks ago. They've got 1 to 2 through 3 little leaves coming off of them, some watermelon, some pumpkin, and I have more pumpkin growing over on this side. It's doing very well. I actually need to probably cull 1 to 2 of these because all 3 of the seeds that I put in the mound sprouted, and they're doing very well. But, oh, I've got 2 little strawberries trying to happen here. This is where I planted the carrots and the peas and some onions, and some things are sprouting up. Some might be weeds. I'm just going to let it sit, but I had planted some cumin and cilantro over here, and things are popping up. I know it's not extra exciting because it's so tiny, but we'll see what happens. Here's the radishes. They are coming up really quick. They're a very fast growing plant, but this is also sort of a surprise bed because there's all these little things popping up that I did not plant, that I think fell off when I weed eated this garden. It had some forget-me-nots and cosmos and things. I think it dropped some seed on its own. And last but not least, on the last week's garden update, these were the brassicas that I started indoors, and they're sprouting. And onto the most fun and, of course, cutest part of the week was my kids harvesting some of our blackberry bushes in our own yard. And then we went on an adventure in the different alleyways and side streets to find some more so that we could get enough to make that jam. They're doing a great job. So cute. Show me your berries. Oh, those are nice. Yummy. This was a super duper huge patch that gave us a ton. It was so ready to be picked. Here. That one's red. Get a black one. The jelly recipe that I'm making is blackberry jalapeno pepper jelly by Southern Made Simple, and in her recipe she tells you to wear latex gloves when handling these peppers. I ignored that. I thought I was not a wuss. Guess what? I am. I ended up in misery the rest of the night, bathing my hands in milk, lemon juice, vinegar, whatever I could get my hands on, because they were on fire. If you are from descendants of people who live in an island in the middle of the ocean and only eat lamb and whatever vegetation they can find, and peppers do not grow there, do not ignore that step. You will regret it. Okay, so the next step, I am taking 2 cups of blackberries and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and putting it in my teeny tiny food processor, and I will blend that all up and let that hang out for a sec while I work on this other step. Okay, so I am taking those jalapenos and 6.5 cups of sugar and 1.5 cups of apple cider vinegar and letting that all mix up together. And we're gonna let that come to a rolling boil, is what the recipe says. And I think it's just really fun to watch things bubble up. So we'll see that for a sec. I'm gonna add that blackberry mixture into my mixture of the jalapenos, and I want to strain as much of the seeds out and get as much of the juice in. So get a spoon and really work that liquid. Make sure that it comes out. And then you're going to want to add 2 packs of liquid pectin to the mixture as well. And now you're going to let it boil for about 3 to 4 minutes and let it bubble up. Now that that's done, you want to let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes to cool a little bit so that you can skim all the foam that gets on the top of the jelly off. And I almost forgot and started canning, but I stopped myself just in time. Now we're in the home stretch and we're able to put our mixture into our jars. For her recipe, it said that it would make 8 jelly-sized jars, but I find those to be incredibly small. Maybe that'd be fun for like making Christmas presents, which this would make a great Christmas present. But I like to have a bigger jar of stuff. I can be a little bit gluttonous sometimes, and so I wanted to put them into pint jars. So for future reference, it will make 3 full-size pints, and it makes exactly that amount. I'm just using the little stick that comes in the canning thing to make sure there's no bubbles in the jelly. And now, just to put the canning lids on and to tighten up the bands. And we'll just put them in the hot water bath and process them for 10 minutes in boiling water. While it was processing, you know that I had to try it, and so I put it on a Ritz cracker with some Laughing Cow cheese and the jelly. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is so good. Here's a little peek of me and my littles going to help with the gleaning. Here is some of the delicious juicy plums that we got. Here's my big guy getting in the fruit picking action. He's an expert fruit picker. There was also a couple of apple trees that needed to be harvested, so we got some of those as well. We found out that these were going to be going to a cider press because they're not the greatest quality, but they're still usable. Here is our bountiful harvest that we were blessed to be able to take home with us. I can't wait to get to work on making stuff with these plums this week. So that's what we've gotten up to this week. If you enjoyed that, please like and subscribe. If you have any great plum recipes, please feel free to leave that in the comments. I would love your suggestions. I've never cooked with them before. Please join us next week. We'll be adding more stuff to our September garden, and I'll show you the progress of that, and who knows what other adventures we'll get into along the way. Y'all have a great week.